Hello everyone and welcome back to another day of Road to TCG Worlds 2019. Thank you so much for being here, I really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like, it really helps out the channel. Mr. Rayleigh, thank you so much for choosing to use your Twitch Prime subscription on the channel. And so guys, we are now going to be taking a look at Malamar, another deck that I think is really good in standard right now. Yeah. And probably one of the best decks throughout the course of this new 2018-2019 season. So we have Malamar, which is the reason this deck works, the card I'm covering right here. 90 HP, nothing too impressive, but its ability Psychic Recharge. Once during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. Then the attack Psychic Sphere does 60 damage, nothing too impressive. But the ability does allow us to power up much better attackers than itself, such as Giratina. Giratina's ability Distortion Door is like it has an included Rescue Stretcher. It can come back from discard pile to the bench, and if you do use the ability, you can place one damage counter on 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon, and then 130 for 3 energy is a very nice deal. And 4 damage counters on one of your Pokemon is a not very nice drawback, but usually you can put them on Pokemon where either they're so frail it wouldn't matter, or you can put them on Giratina because it will likely just go down the next turn. Now we also have Deoxys with attack Psychic, dealing 20 damage plus 20 more for the times the amount of energy attached to the opponent's active Pokemon. And then Power Blast, dealing 120 damage, and you discard an energy from Deoxys. Then we also have Necrozma GX with 180 HP. Surprisingly not an Ultra Beast, but it's also kind of good in a way. The ability Lighten, not very relevant. There aren't many good colorless Pokemon attacking right now. But Prismatic Burst deals 10 damage plus 60 more for each Psychic Energy you discard. You have to discard them all. So 3 Psychic Energies means you're dealing 190 damage very nicely. Black Ray GX also allows you to spread damage across all the GXs, which is a really nice option to soften things up. And then we have Dawnwing's Necrozma GX. This is an Ultra Beast, 180 HP, and the ability Invasion. You get to promote Dawnwing's Necrozma if it's on your bench, therefore reducing the necessary cards to start applying pressure on turn 2. And you have Dark Flash dealing 120 damage and not affected by resistance. And then you have Bloom's Eclipse GX dealing 180 damage, and your opponent cannot do anything to Dawnwing's Necrozma during their next turn. However, you must be behind in price cards in order to use this attack. Now, Marshadow GX can copy all of these attackers and be fighting type thanks to its Shadow Hunt ability, so the fighting typing is very useful against Zoroark decks. Finally, we have Chimeco with its Spell of Silence attack. It does stop quite a few Pokemon from coming into play, namely Zoroark, Ninetales, Decidueye, Gardevoir, Swampert, Solgaleo, you name it. There are so many abilities right now out there that Bell of Silence is really good to just make sure you slow the tempo down and you get the knockouts that you might need. And we have Ditto Prism Star, which can be like a 5th Inkay, but it can also be become Muck in order to stop our opponent's Orangurus in the Gramble matchup. Or it can become Trash Challenge Garbiter, dealing 20 damage for each item card in our opponent's discard pile, so an extra attacker of sorts. Double Marshadow as our draw support engine. No double Lele in this case. You could play one Lele, one Marshadow, but I'm trying to reduce the amount of GXs I play as well. Now, supporters wise, we have 4 Lily, 4 Cynthia, and 4 Guzma. And items wise, we have 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Mysterious Treasure, 4 Acrobike, and 1 Nespal. And then finally 4 Skateboard, so I can move around very freely, and double Stretcher to recover any attacker we might need, or Malamar that have been taken down. 10 Psychic Energy round out the deck, and so let's jump into a ladder and see what we can do with this Malamar deck, and see if we can surprise someone with the Garbiter. Jolly, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is Sylveon GX? It depends. A Sylveon GX, like Mill, Stall deck, and Expanded, can be pretty good, but it's probably inferior to the Zoroark, Seismitoad, recycling decks that are out there. Sylveon GX as a card is very good, it's just hard to fit it in because The attack gets you 3 cards, which is awesome, but then your turn ends once you got those 3 cards. right? Whereas Ninetales, and like usually you'll pair Sylveon with Guardy, and you'll grab Rare Candy, Guardy, and something else, a draw supporter. Whereas the Alolan Ninetales GX gets the cards into your hand immediately, so that's a pretty big deal, you know? That's a pretty big deal. So Sylveon is an okay card, but right now I would probably give it a 1 or a 2, because it's just not very useful. Okay, so we're up against something that has Oranguru. This could be the Zora Gyarados deck. This could be some sort of mill deck. We see a Netball, netting my opponent a Shuckle GX. So it is going to be some sort of mill deck. There's a Trico. There is a Trico. So I'm gonna attach energy there. I'm gonna attach, the skateboard, the energy. And I'm gonna Mysterious Treasure away the Ultra Ball, set up an Inkay. And Garbiter is there. Shuckle GX is gonna be super annoying. Sceptile plus Shuckle means Necrozma can't do much. But we'll see. Not sure what my opponent is playing, but we're gonna try our best. We find a Ditto, which is nice. And then, stopping Mach doesn't seem, stopping Shuckle I think doesn't seem like a big deal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Marshadow here. Because my hand is really not looking great. I think I'll skateboard the Ditto, and then I will Marshadow for 2. And you get an energy, which is nice. Now, if I get double Malamar next turn, I can actually take a prize with Dawnwings, and I can pressure the Shuckle, which is nice. The key is getting double Malamar, and that's not gonna be easy by any means. Ooh, so we just see a Ross Stevens for my opponent. So we could end up getting a knockout here. My opponent sets up the Sceptile that can't be attacked by, that makes it so that Grass Pokemon can't be attacked by Ultra Beasts. I do need to be aware of that. So I might need to bench the Necrozma GX. Guzmas are going to be super valuable as well. So we have to take that into account. And I do have another Marshadow, which could mess with his Stevens for sure. And Sundo, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you watching my videos on YouTube. Okay, nice to have you on the stream. So we're gonna see a Cynthia. Just one Malamar this time around. Oh, I didn't have 2 Psychics in the discard file, so never mind. I was not going to be able to attack anyways. Okay, so then we just passed. Next turn we'll attach an energy. We'll take a KO on Oranguru. I could be tempted to Guzma KO the Trico, definitely. Okay, so there's the, yikes. There's this Sceptile that prevents Ultra Beast from damaging Pokemon. We're gonna see a Mars. And of course he hits my Guzma. Right, of course he hits my Guzma. And then he passes, okay. Oh, jeez, I can't believe that. Can't believe he actually hit my Guzma. Okay, we can KO the Oranguru. Now we can no longer touch the Shuckle, and my hand is dead. So I'm gonna have to Dark Flash here, and then eventually I'll find Necrozma. Necrozma can take down the Shuckle. Losing the Guzma is really annoying. Losing the Guzma, like, and a Psychic would have been such an awesome discard. And my opponent hit just the right card. Right, just the right card. 2 items so far. Stevens. Stevens for 3 cards. Doesn't even attack me because he knows he's safe. And then I just get double Stretcher. Because why not? So I can't damage the Shockle per se. Hello, Wimple's Grill. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, I might just have to attack with Malamar. I'm gonna start retreating, right? Because that way I get Psychics into a discard pile, which I can Psychic Recharge. Necrozma GX is it's a pretty good card. It's just very annoying to play against, and the fact that my opponent has that particular Sceptile makes this annoying, and the fact that I'm dead drawing. Okay, so we're gonna see a triple poison. That's fine. He Stevens only to do literally nothing. We get a Kuzma. Don't want to use that up. I'm just gonna go ahead and retreat. Get another energy. I mean, I could attack, right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna attack the Shockle for sure, especially because I have the Stretchers. I can also just like, oh, that was silly. Okay, if he yeah, okay, that was a mistake. Well, actually, it wasn't. He'll do some damage, and then I'll retreat, and then I'll go on to the Malamar. Lose means for 2 Stevens, that's fine, not a big deal. Or maybe Stevens and Mars, actually. Good for the beginning of the game, bad late game, that is true. Okay. So Evan did lose and didn't even bother attacking me. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna retreat. And we're gonna do Psychic Sphere. And then maybe he'll paralyze me. I will just Invasion, retreat, hit him again for 60. Odd. Okay. Just goes for another Stevens. I have no idea what my opponent is planning here. I really have no idea. Probably something with a known. Oh, true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, that's still such a long way to go. Okay. So I think my play is going to be to... No, I don't have a second Malamar. Never mind. So I'll just do this. And I will Psychic Sphere. Next turn I Psychic Recharge attached to Necrozma. Maybe Kuzma KO the Sceptile. Unknown hand, yeah, possibly. Preventable effects of attacks including damage done to this Pokemon by any Pokemon that has an ability. Oh my god. Carbink. I mean, he will eventually get a knockout, right? Do I have anything that deals damage that doesn't have an ability? Oh, Garbiter. Garbiter, right? Garbiter does that. Okay, so it's gonna be a waiting game. The fact that I'm dead drawing is just making this really annoying. I'm just gonna KO the Sceptile. What does that Carbink do? So Carbink, Wonder Ray. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by any Pokemon that has an ability. So that's super annoying, but I don't think it matters because I'm gonna eventually find my Garbiter, which doesn't have an ability. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't knock him out. but does 2-hit KO him. So we should be fine. We should be fine. So yeah, he was trying to surprise me with that. Big deal, right? Big deal. He probably does have a known hand as well. But he has to keep using Wonder Ray, therefore he will eventually get a knockout. And there's a Garb immediately, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pressure him with that. Trash Avalanche is the only option I have indeed. So I'm gonna Invasion, Retreat. Oh no, Deoxys is another option. But I don't have the bench space. I guess eventually he would take a knockout, right? But I don't have the bench space right now. I think I'm gonna attach to a Necrozma because I can always Psychic Recharge to that. My opponent, well, if he brings up this guy now, I might be in trouble. He has to bench something else now. He has to bench a Shuckle. Giraffe Egg. Jeez. I mean, he gets rid of energy, that's fine. I also have Chimeco, yeah, but he deals 30 damage, I deal 10. So, brings up the Necrozma, very... That was a misplay. If he brings up Dawnwings, I would be in trouble. If he had brought up Dawnwings, I would have been in trouble. But he didn't, so that's okay. I still have an energy. Oh, and I top deck the one card that helps me in this situation. So that might be what I do actually. I'm just gonna do this. Retreat. And then Trash Avalanche for knockout. Trash Avalanche is gonna be too much for my opponent to deal with. If you had Choice Band, that would have been game. No, because Carbink is not a GX Jaken, and Choice Band only adds damage to GX attackers. So that would not have worked. Yep, there's a Shuckle, that's fine. Team Skull Grunt doesn't hit any energy. I only have one energy in the discard pile now. A skateboard. The stadium. The stadium is annoying because now I need 4 energy on Necrozma to knock this guy out. You wish Muscle Band was in the format? Yeah. It wouldn't have helped in this situation though. Okay, so then I'm gonna Psychic Recharge onto this guy. Oh, I guess I should play the Acrobike. My opponent is being very annoying for sure. But like all he's accomplishing is being annoying. He's not really doing much else. And now I'm gonna use Malamar to attack. Having Invasion is so broken. So I'm gonna retreat into the Malamar. I'll hit for some damage. And then I'll Psychic Recharge onto it. Dawnwing, so I'm never trapped. You've never played Choice Band yourself, Jagan? Oops. Ken, today we're doing top 5 decks in standard format. We've already gone through Blacephalon, then Guardi. Now we're watching Malamar in action, being very versatile and having to like improvise a lot. We are really having to improvise a lot. In this matchup, we're going to see a Lusamine. And does Shuckle block Necrozma GX's damage because it discards the energy? No, it does not. Like, Shuckle checks. Is the Pokemon attacking me? Does the Pokemon attacking me have 3 energy? Like, you need the 3 energy to perform the attack, so that, like, the Shuckle check is, yes, this guy has 3 energy, therefore it can attack me. Still at 3 item cards. The Cynthia play could be useful. I do find a Psychic. I don't have any energy in the discard pile, so I can't get a knockout just yet. I can, however, grab an Acrobike. Rescue Stretcher, definitely not needed. I'll keep the Lily. And so, there's no way for me to knock out the Shackle this turn. Right? So I'm gonna retreat into this guy. Actually, that was a mistake. Ah, that was a mistake. That was a silly mistake. Keep making silly mistakes. Because he, like, what he's gonna do now is he's gonna paralyze me. Oh well, that's fine. Sparksy registration for Australia I see open soon. Am I coming over again? Unfortunately this year I am not going, or next year rather, I'm not going to the Australia International Championship. It'll have to wait until the 2019-2020 season for me to go back to Australia. Because I did get a stipend or a travel award. That's gonna be the issue for me. Okay, my opponent size 2 Acerola. Is he going to paralyze me finally? So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going. Wow, it doesn't even paralyze me. I have the energy to get the knockout though. Past the Ether Paradise, and then I'll load up the energy to this guy so I can retreat. 3 energy, 180 is not KO. It was KO, yeah. It was KO, but I couldn't. I had already retreated Mr. Rayleigh. And you can't use Malamar's ability to the active Pokemon, so I had to wait a turn. It wasn't because I didn't have KO, it was because I had to wait a turn to do that. On BCGO, it blocked Blacephalon before. A 3 energy one. Oh, probably a glitch, I would say. We're gonna see a Crushing Hammer, not relevant. Discards the energy from the Garb. I just get it back immediately. This is 100% game. What an annoying deck for sure. This was an extremely annoying deck to play against, but hey, at least it showed how Malamar has so many tool cards at its disposal. Max Potion heals the damage, but that's his 5th item. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 6th item. Salud. So now Trash Challenge can one-hit KO. Carbink, no problem. My opponent insists with the Shackle, which I guess is fair. It will end up surviving this turn, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't have triple Malamar, so I would have needed a Kuzma to win next turn. I still have 2 of them, so I could top deck 1. He judges me, so that might get me the win. Right, that might get me the win. It does. Crushing Hammer, that's fine. That is A-okay. We have the Guzma, we just Trash Challenge the Carping for the knockouts. What deck is next? Iberzorg. It's either Zoroark or Zoroark Ninetales Decidueye. One of those two. Yeah, one of those two. Super annoying deck to play against. Wow. Incredibly annoying deck to play against. Thankfully you had the Garb though. If we didn't have the Garb, it would have been difficult to deal with the Carbink. ZDN. I called it top 5 CDN, not CDT. I disagree with the CDT acronym. But yeah, Malamar, very versatile deck, very powerful deck as well. Next up we have CDN with Zoroark, Decidueye, Ninetales coming up. So if you're watching YouTube, you can check that out tomorrow as we count down to our top 5 decks of the standard format as of right now. And if you're watching live with me on Twitch, don't go anywhere guys. I will be right back in just a second with our next deck. Be right back.